Welcome to Yay Basketball Daily, December 7th, 2022. This is everything you missed from the last night in the NBA. I'm Michael. This is Kyle. Let's dive right into it. Donovan Mitchell, 43 points in the win over the Lakers. He really showed out against the Lakers there. Anthony Davis only plays 8 minutes, goes out with flu-like symptoms after what looked like a play that could be his back. Do you think that that's legit, or do you think it was maybe them trying to cover their tracks a little bit with nerves about AD?
Yeah, flu-like symptoms seemed weird. That wasn't how they were talking on the broadcast prior to this coming out. I felt like I didn't pay attention for a second, and I was watching AD look pretty good. They were talking on the broadcast about how motivated he was, how he was specifically upset with Chuck over calling him street clothes as a nickname. And then I look up again and it's like, well, AD didn't come back to start the second quarter.
Right.
And I was like trying to get to Twitter, and then they come out and they're like, oh yeah, he's not coming back, flu-like symptoms. And I was like, that's weird.
Very
sure.
odd. The funny thing is, I texted you about early fourth quarter, and I said the Jared Allen game because he was going off. What was he going off?
He started out very hot. Yeah, I think he had 22 points in the first quarter.
I'd forgotten that I'd switched to the box score to the fourth quarter, and I was like, it says he has 2 points. I know that's wrong. But anyways, I texted you. I said Donovan Mitchell, the Jared Allen game, and the muscle emoji. And then Donovan Mitchell goes on like an 8-0 run on his own, and I said maybe it's the Mitchell game. And it sure enough ended up being the Donovan Mitchell game. Donovan Mitchell scores 17 points in the fourth quarter, 43 points overall, 5 of 6 in the fourth. He played all but a minute and 40 seconds of that fourth quarter, which was at that point pretty much just garbage time. 2 for 2 from 3, 5 for 5 from the line, 3 rebounds and an assist, and 2 steals in that fourth quarter. He really, winning time showed up, and so did he. A clip that I want to show real quick is after he hits pretty much the dagger against the Lakers there with 3:20 to play. You can see him saying, "Go the fuck home," against the Lakers. Get out of here. Go on back to where yonder. And the Lakers get another loss. Not really surprising if AD's not there. He's been their really biggest bright spot recently. And Lakers drop to 10-13 now. They break the tiebreaker with the Thunder for that coveted 13th spot. So they will be firmly in position for that one. Any takeaways from this one?
Yeah, Mitchell took control late in the game. He's best player on the court for the entire fourth quarter. They were only up 2 going into the final period. It was a close game. I was impressed with how the Lakers were fighting without AD for most of that. Then they outscored him by 12 points in the fourth quarter. Mostly comes from Mitchell. They just look tough. Yeah, we talked yesterday morning. I was like, I don't know. It's like the Cavs backcourt's going to give them fits. Like if AD is healthy, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are still going to have a long night. But I don't know who they put out there. And Mitchell had a couple early threes where the first one I looked down and it was Troy Brown Jr. And then the second one, I can't remember. I think it was Austin Reeves, who tried to step out on the second one early in the game. I was like, okay, well, if this is who they're running, he's going to have a night. And it finally just caught up to the Lakers late.
Yeah, Austin Reeves did have a couple moments in that game. He finishes with 8 points, so those were the only moments that he had in the game. But also worth mentioning, Thomas Bryant has a career-high 19 points, 8 of 12. He did his best to fill those shoes that Anthony Davis left, but obviously he's not Anthony Davis. Evan Mobley, foul trouble early, so only 7 points from him. 12 rebounds. Without AD, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley combined for 23 boards. So Cavs get the win. Lakers missing AD. We'll see about if they are able to get him back tonight against the Raptors. But more on that later. We'll move on to Pistons overheat. Yesterday when we set this one up, I was like, well, the Heat should surely take care of business. Second night of a back-to-back, coming off a loss. Surely they'll win this one, right? Bojan Bogdanovic said, "Nope." He did not. They did not want to give up this win. What'd you see from the Pistons in this one?
Yeah, it was Boyan stepping on the gas in the second half. Three
Mhm.
first half points, comes out, knocks down 28 of them. Fourth quarter was, I think Spoelstra called it a deluge, or he said the floodgates broke or something. He said we were defending good up to that point, and then the wheels came off essentially. So another troubling game. They're missing Jimmy Butler. They were missing Gabe Vincent last night. So a couple absences, but you're playing a team that's deliberately trying to lose and resting their best player. So that really can't be your excuse for why the Heat are now. I mean, God, they're a couple games under 500 too. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of hit it there. The Bojan does score 14 of his points in the third. This was a 4-point game with 8 minutes to play. And the Pistons go on a 16-2 run in the fourth quarter. Miami is now 0-5 when they don't score 100 points, which in today's modern NBA doesn't surprise me. Still, I mean, Bam, 21-15. Hero tried his best, 34, 6, 12. 6 assists on 12 of 17 shooting. So he did what he could, but the Heat, I saw Trey Kirby tweet out, here are some Heat storylines. Is it get Jimmy out of free Jimmy, get Jimmy help, and is it time to blow it up? And you're looking at the Heat, looking at how much they paid Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, trading for Kyle Lowry. Bam getting his money. Doesn't look good for the Heat right now. Losing games like this, you really got to win these games. They're now half game out of the play-in spots, behind the Wizards and the Knicks, who are wildly mediocre teams this season. Well, the Wizards have some potential, but the Heat are. It feels like they're just messing around, and typically they're such a great regular season team. They set themselves up for success in the playoffs. This does not feel like one of those years. Also, I made a point yesterday to say every game they play and every loss they have, it's been a close one. It's contested, and they go on to lose by 20. So that's a good takeaway from that one. Anything else on the Heat?
They just all of a sudden look old and small. They don't have enough size. It can't just be Bam and
Dwayne Dedmon.
Dwayne Dedmon
it for you?
when he plays. Didn't even play last night. I know, future All-Star Dwayne Dedmon. And they're looking old. They got Oladipo back last night for the first time in ages. So maybe that can be a bright spot and maybe lead the second unit, because gosh, they need some athleticism. They need some youth. Obviously, Oladipo's missed a ton of time the last 3 years. So yeah. He's not the epitome of youth, but they could use him. So we'll see what he can do.
Definitely. So overall, Bojan 31 on 12 of 16 shooting. And then Alec Burks adds 18 for the Pistons, who obviously stay in last place there in the Eastern Conference.
No. Hey, respect my Orlando Magic. They are tanking better.
I'm sorry. Did they? Oh, they swapped with them. I apologize.
Yeah.
They're now a
Pistons
game and a half.
A game and a half.
I apologize. I guess I just assumed they were still in last place. I shouldn't.
No, they're screwing it all up now.
Shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. Next one, kind of the headline of the night. Once AD goes out, that first game doesn't become too much of a game on the TNT doubleheader. But the second game, Luka Doncic outduels Nikola Jokic and the Mavericks over the Nuggets 116-117. Bit of a kind of herky-jerky game from Luka. What'd you see in this one?
Yeah, funny little nugget you pointed out. All the winners last night scored 116 points.
Very weird.
Very weird. This was the closest game. Definitely came down to the wire.
Yep.
Mavs were up big pretty late in the fourth, and then they give up an 11-0 run to the Nuggets, who then take a 1-point lead. And then the Mavs ice it from there. Dorian Finney-Smith hit a three. Felt like I spoke that one into existence right when I said he's coming on strong a little bit, looking better. Disappeared beginning of the season. And
I do have that play pulled up here. Here's a look at it. Denver up 1. Hits the 3 with 17 seconds remaining. And then it's
Jokic missed a free throw.
Yep. Jokic missed a free throw, and then Jamal Murray gets a last-second half-court heave that does not go down. Stats for this one were a little odd to me. This is the first win for the Mavericks that Luka doesn't score 30 points all season.
That was a trend. Wow, yeah, I forgot about that. They haven't done that.
22, 10, and 12 for Luka. 5 of 17 shooting. So the Nuggets were obviously doing something right. And then Jokic, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. So he did what Jokic does, but a little less than he normally does.
Yeah, only 13 attempts, a little lower than what we're used to seeing from him. Big game from Aaron Gordon. That's really reassuring to get 27 points from him. You can't get down on yourself too much. The Mavs are a good team. You lost by a point on a couple possessions late. Bones Highland looked much better. Knocks down a few threes, 5 of 10 from 3, 20 points after getting benched after 5 minutes of playing time last game. So that's a good bounce back for him. Overall, the Nuggets competed. Jeff Green came back after missing a few games and threw down a pretty thunderous dunk, which was surprising to see from Jeff Green. But, kind of how we've said, the Mavs weren't pulling their weight when it came to everybody not named Luka. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. gives him 29 points and kind of leads him to a win.
Here's a look at that Jeff Green dunk. If we can get it here. Drives baseline, does get a slam. Look at that one.
Yeah,
the old man's got some hops still.
Still got it.
Yeah, all five starters scored double figures for the Nuggets. But are you starting to get nervous about them? I know they're kind of your second your adopted team. They've lost 3 straight. They're 5-5 in their last 10, and they've dropped to the 5th seed now. And they're only a game above the play-in spots. Granted, the West is still really tough, so that's not saying a whole lot, but. You getting nervous or what?
Yeah, even with the Kings, half game up on the Clippers. Yeah, Jamal Murray was 2 of 11 for 11 points last night. That's really the part that's just not going to cut it when they don't have Michael Porter Jr. He's been hurt. I think they're at this point going to have to expect him to miss lots of time here and there. So Jamal Murray has to be better, and he just hasn't been thus far. So,
shaking off the rust.
Not the biggest deal in December. You don't want to push a guy who's missed this much time, to play more than he's comfortable with, to get outside of his comfort zone. But that's the missing thing. But I guess if you're looking at it long term, it's not like Jokic and Murray are combining for 70 points every night and they're still losing. There are some pretty easy things to point to in terms of improvement that can get them more wins. So, not too worried about it yet.
Not too concerned. It is, like you said, it is still December, and the West. There's still so much shaken out to do. The Kings are tied with them right now due to tiebreak. They're in the 4th spot. We think the Kings will maybe make a play-in run, but I don't think anybody thinks they're going to be in the 4 seed there. So, and that does it for last night's games. But let's look ahead to tonight because we've got some games that. As I was looking this over, I told you before, kind of snoozer after snoozer, but it's capped off with a potential finals matchup. The 2 number 1 seeds, Boston goes to Phoenix. Celtics favored by 2.5 in Phoenix. Battle of the number 1 seeds. Tatum, obviously, Booker, obviously playing incredible ball right now. You want to make a pick on it?
I think the Celtics will cover. I think they're going to give Phoenix fits. Wing depth is where the Suns are struggling right now. You can put Mikal Bridges on one of them, but you're still letting the other one go crazy. Probably. Booker's defense has improved, but is he going to guard Tatum all night or Brown all night? It's going to be tough. So I'm interested to see. But if the Suns pull it out, I think they're going to climb up the internal rankings I have for how legit the Suns are right now. So I'm interested to see. What do you think about, give me your prediction on this one, and then we got to talk Hawks Knicks.
I think Suns as well. I think Celtics as well. Jason Tatum, I hope the 2 of them just go off. Give me 2 40 burgers and let's just have a duel. The 2 of you on each other in the 4th quarter. I know that won't happen. Booker's a little undersized there, but enough schemes. Give me a duel, Give me something entertaining, like Giannis and AD last week. That's what I want. I want the two best players on the court right now playing each other, guarding each other every possession. See who comes out on top. So I'll pick Tatum just because I think the Celtics are rolling. Like you said, wing depth, very important for them. Tatum's playing on another level right now. But yes, you mentioned it. Trae Young goes back to the Garden.
Back to the Garden.
And we talked about this yesterday a little bit, that like, what's going on with the Hawks, huh? What's up? But I think that the Hawks can win this game. If they can beat the Nuggets the other night without Trae Young and John Collins, surely they can beat the Knicks, right? And I can already see me referencing that sentence tomorrow morning when the Knicks win at home. But we'll see. I'd love to see Trae go for 50, Who knows? Who cares? Why
not? I mean, I don't know. I always, every time the Hawks get into a little funk like this, I think back to after they made the conference finals run, the start of the next season, Trae Young was asked early, and he's just like, well, after you've been there, regular season games just don't mean anything. It's hard to get up for. And it's like, you made one conference finals, sort of fluky too. Sort of. I just don't know if you can take that attitude into regular season games just off one conference finals appearance. And it seems like he doesn't take regular season games seriously sometimes. It's not all the time, but this seems like a great opportunity to kind of get back into a good rhythm, the right headspace with this sort of stuff. Like, it's a game he's going to get up for. He loves being the villain in MSG. So I'm interested to see if this kind of helps right the ship, or if it goes wrong tonight, if that just kind of exacerbates what's going on down there in Atlanta.
I do want to answer this question real quick, because this does also transition to another matchup I wanted to hit on real quick. The battle of the all-star level guards, Western Conference guards here. Thunder go to Memphis. John Morant and SGA battling it out. Obviously, SGA is playing like a man possessed, trying to make Sam Presti pull his hair out every possession. But in terms of the Grizzlies, I think we can agree, better team overall. John Morant,
sure.
If he decides to play tonight, or if he's able to play tonight, I should say, I would pick the Grizzlies at home. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was a close one and Shea does his damnedest to make it a good contest.
Yeah, I really hope Ja plays. That'll be great to see. And then I think Kings Bucks is the other one I kind of picked out to check out. Kings have one of the best offenses in the league, going up against a really solid defense. The Bucks don't play as quick as the Kings do, so I'm interested to see if that gives them fits. It's a good test for the Bucks early in the season.
Yeah,
it's an easy game that they could overlook and lose, so I'm interested to see how they handle it.
Absolutely. Since there's only 3 games, real quick, Drew here has a question. You got an answer for this one?
Ooh, I hate to say it's not coming home, but I'm going to go with France. I think they're going to beat England. I haven't seen a team as good as France so far, but I hope Morocco beats Portugal. Morocco was a hell of a game yesterday to get Spain out of the tournament. So Morocco's kind of a little fun underdog to watch right now.
Awesome. Well, I'll just piggyback off what you said, because I just be honest, haven't been watching, and I just don't know the game well enough. But all right, that just about wraps it up. You got anything for the people?
Let's see y'all back here tomorrow, and we have more games to discuss.
Yes, sir. We will have a whole bunch more games. Hit the link in the description to join our Chalkboard group chat. Chat with us, give us game ideas, chat with us, ask us questions, all that stuff. Go in circles, all that. Subscribe if you haven't. Drop a like on the live if you haven't. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget,